Well, to me, what I say on campuses all the time is if you want to cite instances of racism that we can all find and fight together, that's something that I am more than willing to stand next to you and fight, because that's obviously stuff that we should fight together. But when you just say that there is a white privilege out there in the ether and that by dint of birth your skin color generates for you an advantage, what you're really saying to people is that your view is less valuable because you have not experienced what I've experienced. And that is an identity argument, that's a character argument, that's not a rational political argument.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and ring the bell so you don't miss future videos. And of course, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I always want to hear what you think. Now, today we're breaking down a fiery exchange between Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett and conservative commentator Ben Shapiro. This wasn't just another back and forth about buzzwords. It really touched on one of the most polarizing topics in America today: white privilege, critical race theory, and hate speech.
Mr. Shapiro, you talked about white privilege. And just this week, I had a conversation with Rachel Lazar, who's done some work, a Jewish American woman who's done some work on this area, as well as having extensive conversations with Dr. Greg Parks of Wake Forest University, who's also talked quite a bit about critical race theory. And it's my understanding that white privilege is not telling individuals that they cannot speak, but it is a term for societal privilege that individuals have as a benefit of their white skin. And I don't think that, and I think universities would be remiss to then say that because you're white, you're not allowed to say anything that's critical of white people. I didn't know that white privilege actually went into that sphere. My understanding is it's just, and the issue is that white privilege makes people uncomfortable to talk about the societal privilege that they have.
Well, to me, what I say on campuses all the time is if you want to cite instances of racism that we can all find and fight together, that's something that I am more than willing to stand next to you and fight, because that's obviously stuff that we should fight together. But when you just say that there is a white privilege out there in the ether and that by dint of birth your skin color generates for you an advantage, what you're really saying to people is that your view is less valuable because you have not experienced what I've experienced. And that is an identity argument, that's a character argument, that's not a rational political argument that can actually be taken on in any way. It's more of a cudgel and a club than it is an attempt to open a discussion.
Well, I think it's a demonstrable evidence that through society's demographics that being white has societal privileges that being black does not. But
we can talk about how that manifests, because that's
I'm also interested in what you just said now, was that you would stand next to anyone who has this. So, Mr. Shapiro, my question to you is, for Ms. Dunston, the tying the noose around the campus and writing messages that target African-American young students, would you consider that hate speech, and then would you stand next to her and fight for her?
As I say, I would. This is the first I'm hearing about it, honestly. But
really,
yeah. But from hearing about it, maybe because it's local. I mean, I'm from LA. But in any case, I'm more than happy to stand alongside her and fight whatever group was responsible for this. Not only more than happy. I mean, you're talking about the alt-right. Again, I was the #1 target of anti-Semitic harassment from the alt-right last year. So I'm more than happy to do all that. And I think there's one more distinction that has to be made. When we talk about cases like Taylor's, they're horrific, and the administration is siding with Taylor. Okay, the administration is doing the right thing by Taylor, or trying to do the right thing by Taylor, as they should be. And I think that we need to make a distinction between cases where the administration is actively participating in the suppression of speech and cases in which the administration is trying to do the right thing in order to punish people for application of crime.
So here's my takeaway. Plaskett and Shapiro are both highlighting important sides of this conversation, but in very different ways. She wants recognition of systemic advantages. He wants recognition of individual dignity and freedom. And honestly, both points can exist in tension. Yes, history has shaped disparities. But if the solution is to tell certain people their opinions don't count because of skin color, then we've left the realm of justice and entered into collective guilt. That's not how you build a free society. At the end of the day, what this exchange really showed is the massive gap in how Americans define fairness. Is it about equal outcomes or equal rights? Is it about fixing history or protecting liberty today? Those are the questions that keep coming up, and they're not going away anytime soon. Thanks for watching. Drop your thoughts down below. I'll be reading through and replying to as many as I can. And again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if you found it useful. Until next time, stay sharp, stay free, and I'll see you in the next one.